Unkunku wakuketangane madlozi yakhuluma nawe. Takozani Timelani Lisedi. Hello everyone and welcome to the one-on-one sessions with Gogo Mosare, and I'm your host Gogo M, giving you tips on everything spirituality. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Isicqitho, lefifi, senyama. Okay, because this is actually one of amongst a lot of things that people are struggling from, and you guys need to understand what it is. You need to understand that different kinds of Isicqitho, different kind of senyama, lefifi, and darkness, because it's in English is darkness. There are different kinds of it. They're caused by different things. Not all of them is due to witchcraft, and not all of them is due to other factors besides witchcraft. Okay, so Isicqitho, it's a curse. Okay, it is a curse. It is a dark spell placed on a person. It can be placed using almost any and everything. They can use your hair to do it. They can use your clothes to do it. They can use anything to do it. Okay, but one thing you need to understand, that it can be placed by other people, and it can also be placed by the ancestors. And lastly, you can have it because of the passing of someone in the family. It could be the passing of a parent, a sibling, a close family member, and also an abortion or a miscarriage will cause Isicqitho, will cause darkness, lefifi, senyama. I don't even know which term to use at this moment, but for the whole video we'll be saying darkness. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it can be placed by a lot of things, even negative entities. Negative entities, those are spirits that are not supposed to be, okay, well, they belong in that realm, in the spiritual realm, but they're not supposed to be in contact with you. They can also put Isicqitho in you, in your life. Okay, so I'm gonna be telling you guys about, I'm gonna be separating it to Isicqitho caused by people, Isicqitho caused by the ancestors and spirits, and also Isicqitho caused by the passing of a person. So I'm gonna be dividing them in 3 parts, and also giving you the symptoms of each and every one of them, how you can pinpoint that you have this kind of Isicqitho. But understand that depending on how you have this Isicqitho, how it was placed on you, there are different ways in which you are going to remove it. Okay, there are different types of ways you have to remove it. So that is gonna be determined by whoever you consult to and they see it. Okay, this person's gonna be able to see the kind you have and how you have to fix it. Okay, because they're not all the same, and they're not all put on a person the same way. Okay, so why is it sent to you by people? Okay, this must be the biggest question. Why are these people doing this to me? I'm so sweet, I'm so kind, all those kind of things. But all in all, people really don't care how kind you are in life. Okay, people send it to you because they are plainly just jealous. They're just jealous of you, and what of their character? They're jealous of you. So it will be sent to you by someone who is jealous, who is intimidated by you, by your presence, by your growth, by your glow. They don't want to see other people succeeding in life, so they will put Isicqitho on you because you're not on its own. It's darkness. When you have it, everything is on standstill. Okay, and secondly, it is sent to you to block your blessings. Okay, to block your blessings and your opportunities. Okay, so blessings, I'm not really talking about blessings as in fortune and stuff like that, but understand that we are all blessed in different kinds of ways. I'm blessed to be spiritual, which is good. You are blessed to be a writer, you're blessed to be a businessman, you're blessed to be you're blessed with those kind of things. You have a certain amount of abundance that you are blessed with. Okay, and you have a lot of opportunities, a lot of doors that are going to open for you in your life, in your career, in your personal life. They see these things. Okay, people go out and consult about other people on a regular basis, and they see everything that you are blessed with, and they will not be happy about it. Hence, they will put Isicqitho on you. Okay, number 3, it is sent to you to ruin your relationship and your marriage. Okay, so this one, most of the times, it's a woman's game. It's I feel bad for even saying this because she's a team, but it is what it is. they can send it to ruin your relationship, okay, to ruin your relationship. Maybe if the relationship on its own, it's a very beautiful relationship, it's very successful, they see, oh, there's so much growth that is gonna come from these two people together, and we don't want to see that happening. We want to see these people stuck in one place. Trust me, they will have Isicqitho on you in an instant, okay? Number 5 is Isicqitho placed on you to ruin your skin. Okay, so this happens a lot, especially when people feel like you're so attractive and all those things. They will put Isicqitho on your face, on you to make you have acne, to make you have this rash that you can't really get rid of, to just make you less attractive, just make your skin look like you haven't even bathed in a very long time, even though you did. Okay, it's actually done mostly, like, it's a woman, like, it's usually done by women. That's something I've noticed with this one. Most of the times women are the one who do it because, there's too much competition in the women's world. Like, guys, what's wrong with you guys? Like, it's crazy, but there's so much competition, and if you are very attractive, they will do this to you. Or if they feel like you're very attractive, like, that doesn't make sense. We're all beautiful in our own different ways, and that's something everyone needs to remember. But they will put it on you to ruin your skin, to ruin your, just to make you less attractive. If they feel like you're too attractive and they just plain hate it, okay? Number 6, they place it to block your dreams and your visions. This is what happens mainly for people who are spiritually gifted, because understand that there are different types of spiritually gifted. There are spiritually gifted people who help people, and there are spiritually gifted people who have dreams and visions. And in a sense, I feel like everyone has the ability to have dreams and visions regardless, because that is how the universe, that is how your ancestors will speak to you now and then, and you don't always have to go out and speak to a sangoma for them to speak to you, okay? But what happens is that when you have dreams and visions, and these people, because understand that most of the dreams that you have, they will come as warnings. This is where you will be warned about certain people. They will tell you what they're doing, they will show you what they're doing, and these people, they don't want to be seen. Remember that it's something that they don't want to be seen doing when they go out flying and all those kind of stuff. But they don't want to be seen, so when you're disturbing them, so hence they will put Isicqitho on you, so you do not remember your dreams, okay? So you do not recall even a single one of your dreams. You'll be like, I had a dream, okay? I'm certain that I had a dream, but I have no idea what I dreamt of. Like, it's one of actually the saddest cases, because understand that your dreams are very important. Dreams are the most important thing for you, and you just always need to remember them. Even if you can interpret them in that time and instant, understand that you will be able to interpret it at some point, but it will be very handy at some point, okay? Number, I think it's 7. It is placed on you to affect your relationship with your ancestors. Okay, this is where Lori, things like where your partner is tampered with, impepo is tampered with, candles are tampered with, all in all, to affect your relationship with your ancestors. This mainly happens in those feuds and fights, jagarai, whereas they're fighting over a spiritual gift, which is crazy. Why are you fighting over a spiritual gift when it's given to a specific person? Okay, but it's cool. It happens, where a lot of people are just trying to disrupt the connection between you and your ancestors. They want to make sure that you are unable to speak to them. Even when you partner, regardless of how much you partner, they will not hear you, okay? And Libona, you will never get a response from them because they don't hear what you're saying. How are they going to respond when they can't hear you? So they are tampering with your relationship with your ancestors, knowing very well that at some point they will turn their back on you, because it will be as though when you do not have time for them. Okay, so it is one of the biggest tricks that they do, whereas they affect you and your ancestors. They create a boundary between you and your ancestors, and how you communicate and how they respond to you and all those things, okay? So there are signs to this type of Isicqitho. There are signs, even though most of the signs, depending on whether it's placed on you by a person, by the ancestors, or by the loss of a person in your life, can be very similar. There are those little signs that you can actually pinpoint and be like, okay, I see this, then it could be this type. But still, you need to go and confirm it with a healer so you get the right kind of help. Okay, so the first sign, you cannot remember your dreams and your visions. Plain simple. And yet they've affected your relationship with your ancestors. They've blocked your dreams, so you will not be able to remember any of them, even if you're the kind of person who actually dreams on a regular. Okay, there are people, I know, they dream all the time, they have visions all the time. You're one of those people, but all of a sudden, nothing. What's happening to me? What's happening to my kids? You are being blocked spiritual. You are being blocked. Okay. Secondly, people tend to be irritated or annoyed in your presence. Okay, like I said, it actually cuts opportunities. They use it to just cut opportunities and blessings for you. And certain opportunities, depending on the kind of work you do, will need people, will need a great kind of relationship, maybe with your boss, with certain partners that you can have in the workplace and stuff like that. But all in all, even if it's not work related or opportunity related, they just make in a way a lot of you irritate everyone who's around you, because understand that as much as solitude can be very good for a person, it can also lead a person to depression. Okay, especially if it wasn't a personal choice. Like I, for one, woke up one day and I said, I'm gonna be a loner. Yay. Okay, you can't wake up every morning and say, I'm gonna be a loner. But all in all, what happens is that it can take a toll on a person. Okay, it can take its toll on a person, and they know it. You can get into a massive amount of depression, anxiety, all those kind of things. And even apart from those things, there are times whereby you need people's help. You need to understand what's going on in your life by getting the help of other people. So they do this to you to just make you feel unwanted, make you feel like a burden, make you feel like just make you not happy. Okay, just make you not happy. Okay, so it's actually really cruel. Number 3, you find yourself constantly fighting with people. Okay, because okay, the more you fight with people, okay, the more like the mood is just getting stronger every single time you're in fights, because you are already you already have a negative energy around you, then you are fighting with everyone else around you. You are attracting more negativity, more negative entities in your life. You'll not be able to progress. So they make sure that when you have Isicqitho, you always fight with people. You never get along with anybody. You're just always in a very dark place. You feel like everything, every single thing is an offense to you. Okay, which is sucks, because you'll never have peace, and peace is the one thing that everyone needs to look for in life. Okay, and if you do remember your dreams, you find yourself dreaming about feces, mud, dirty water, dirty clothes, a house that is burning, a house that is falling apart. Those are like the major dreams. Okay, it's feces, it's mud, it's dirty water, dirty clothes, a house that is burning or falling apart, just those kind of things. That is one of those dreams whereby they tell you about Isicqitho, even though they can also tell you about death in the family or death in your life. They signify Isicqitho at the most. And most of the times when you have this kind of dreams, if it also indicates death, it can also tell you what this particular passing is due to this amount of darkness that a person is in at the moment. Okay, so pay attention to your dreams if you can remember your dreams, because this kind of dreams will make you aware of Isicqitho if you have it. Okay, number 5, you experience a rash all over your body and acne that just doesn't want to go away. This is the one I talked about where I said, or they put Isicqitho on you when they just want to make you less attractive. Okay, so it's actually one of a major symptom, Lorona, even though that wasn't the intended reason for doing it. But you will find yourself having a very, very bad rash, bad acne, skin discoloration, those kind of things, whereby you just feel like, okay, I'm gonna go to a dermatologist to get this checked out, whereas you can go, but most of the things might not work for you because this is a spiritual matter. Okay, number 6, your body is constantly itchy. Okay, so this goes hand in hand with the acne and the rash all over your body, but sometimes it can happen whereas you do not have any rash that is visible. You are just constantly itchy all the time. Like your hands are itchy, your back is itchy, your whole body is itchy. You just feel like there are things working inside of you and you don't even understand what's going on. Okay, number 7, you're constantly sick. You lose weight, you're unable to keep food down. This is where it gets very intense, ne? This is where molor to sauna, it could have been, you could have had it for a very long time, and now it's getting like extremely intense. It's not just messing up with your relationships with people, it's messing you up internally, because it messes you up internally. Your health becomes at a risk. Okay, so you get very, very sick. You just find yourself, today give flu, the next day is asthma, the next day is arthritis, the next day is high blood pressures, so many diseases that don't make sense. You could be young, but you're having all these diseases, or even if you're old, but they're just coming over and over and over again, and you don't even understand what's going on. Isicqitho can cause you to be sick all the time, and those diseases will not even make sense. Number 8, diseases like arthritis. Okay, I talked about that back there. And number 9 is where the ancestors will furelela. The ancestors will turn their back on you. They will, because like we said, it affects your communication with your ancestors. So they will turn their back on you when they feel like you are not listening to them. You do not want them to be a part of your life, because there are times whereby to them it's going to be that thing out, okay, if you're walking in this darkness, why aren't you going out to check? And other times that thing they're unable to notice that you're in darkness, or they're trying to show you that you're in this certain amount of darkness, but they're unable to go through on your side, and they come to a point whereby they're just like, ugh, I'm tired. Because it's a never win, it's a never ending battle. It never ends. You never win. You're just constantly, it's a constant back and forth. And honestly, as much as you'd want to help a person as their ancestor, you just get to a point where you're like, I tried. We'll help somebody else. It's cool. Okay. Now we're gonna be moving to form the ancestors. Okay, most of you must be wondering, but why would they put me in Isicqitho when they are my own ancestors and they're supposed to help us? We've talked about ancestors so many times. What? They can be very ruthless. They can go gangster on you in an instant. Okay, and they can put you in Isicqitho. The reasons why they will do this to you is because, firstly, they give it to you because they aren't happy with you. They're not happy with your deeds. They're not happy with what you're doing to people, what you're doing to yourself, what you're doing for them. They're just not happy with something. It doesn't always have to be everything, but there could be something that you are not doing right. Okay, this is where maybe if you're a person, you're doing bad things to people and your ancestors did good, obviously they will not be able to tolerate that. They will never be able to tolerate that. So they will put you in darkness just to make sure when karma gets you, you just stay stuck in one place, in one particular place, and you're unable to succeed. And at times you could find the ancestors that put you in this Isicqitho is not even your ancestors, it's somebody else's ancestors, and that person whose ancestors are doing this to you is someone who you did wrong to. Okay. Number 2, they feel neglected by you. You don't partner, you don't pray, you don't speak to them, you just don't do anything to acknowledge your ancestors. They want acknowledgement. Okay, they want acknowledgement in order to be able to open doors for you. And if you do not give them the acknowledgement, then they will cut your destiny. They will say, okay, you were born destined to do this and this and that, but you know what? We are not giving you that. You're gonna chill. Okay. Number 3, you do not listen to their instructions. One thing you need to understand about the ancestors is that once they speak, they are done. You are very lucky if you have understanding ancestors. They will tell you to do something, you don't do it, but they'll be lenient saying, yeah, you know what, it's cool, we understand, just it's fine. It's very rare, and that only happens if you actually appease them to a certain extent. But if completely you're not listening to a single thing that they are telling you to do, then they will put you in Isicqitho. You'll just see yourself not moving, and when you go out, there's nothing. You will tell your brother, no one is bewitching you, and you will be so you will insist or there is someone doing it to you, only to find out that it's your ancestors. So guys, listen to your ancestors and their instructions and everything that they want you to do for your own sake, survival and success. Okay. Number 4, the use of the wrong name. Okay, so I actually wrote it as the use of the wrong name, but this one can get a little tricky. Okay, so what happens is that firstly, there are people who might find or they are using the wrong name. You are using a foreign name to your ancestors. The name you're using is not the name that your ancestors wanted you to get. You can find out you're supposed to have your great grandmother from your father's side's name or your great grandfather from your mother's side's name, but you were given a completely different name. Because you know what, some of us are stubborn and we might end up being stubborn parents, or like we're saying, you know what, I'm gonna name my baby everything that I want to name them and nobody's gonna tell me nothing. Well, doing that can put a curse on your child. Okay, it can put a curse on your child. That's the first thing. And secondly, when you know what, there are meanings behind names, guys. There are meanings behind names. You can't just wake up one morning and say, well, you're calling your child disappointment. Like, you can't. Everything they do will just be a disappointment. At least call them success. Call them consistency. You know, something yellow, it has a meaning. Okay, it's something yellow, it has a meaning. You know, I'm half Tonga, so you'd find there are so many English names that are given in my tribe, and some of those names you'd find you feel okay, this name on its own, it's a curse to this person, it's a curse to this child, and they end up living up to their names. Okay, so your names are very powerful, né? And Logona, even if the name is like, it's a good name, it's a great name, you find the name, ne, the person the person you were named after had their own amount of curse within that. Okay, this is where Lore, okay, we'll get to the how you fix it, but this is where a cleansing of the ancestor and the name will be needed to be performed. Okay, so you'd find okay, you were given the name that you were supposed to get, but the name has its own curse. The spirit that you were named after is cursed, and that spirit will in turn be linked to you to a certain extent, and hence the curse that spirit is lingering in will be yours as well. That is where Molor we have Molor, like you find out them saying or like a certain spirit needs to be cleansed. Yes, most of the times it's when like that person passes away early or at war or in a circumstance that wasn't supposed to be, né? But there are other times whereby a spirit needs to be cleansed by illnesses, by curses, by spells that were performed on that person in their time of living. Okay? So the signs that your ancestors are putting on you, né? Okay, so most of them, they're pretty much the same as the ones I spoke about earlier, where Lori, you're not moving forward, you're not growing, your life is at a total standstill, you know. But additionally, you will smell. Okay, you will smell very, very badly, especially if you get to a point more Lori, they tell you do something and you don't do it, and you know what you're supposed to do it right now. The minute you don't do what they tell you, it starts. They will make you stink, just so people will not be able to tolerate your scent. Okay. And number 2, your entire life will turn upside down. You will be moving, because that's the thing about the ancestors. They will show you what they're there. They will give you so many beautiful, good things in your life, and you will see them, and you'll get arrogant. You'll stop paying attention to them. You'll stop appeasing them. You'll stop listening to them. You'll initiate today and find out, okay, you have so many clients, things are going great at work, they're loving you, all those kind of things. Then you start to neglect them, and all of a sudden things stop. And there's nothing anyone else is doing on the outside. It's your ancestors. It's what they are doing to you for not living up to your promise to them. So pay attention to what your ancestors want for growth and success in your life. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about the last type of Isicqitho, which is Isicqitho caused by the death of someone in the family. Okay, so this is in general in my language, because I speak Spedi Sotho, it is called lehoma. Okay, it is called lehoma. I don't know what they call it in other different languages, because I don't really know a lot of languages. I don't even know Tonga or Venda. I don't know them very well. I just, yeah, but it is called lehoma in Sotho, in Spedi. And lehoma is when somebody in the family passes away. This person could be a relative, a sibling, a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, those kind of people from your bloodline, people, but really close ones, ne? And it can also occur if, like, you have a miscarriage or an abortion, a child passes away before they were born. It is a very, very serious matter, ne? So that is what causes it. And the symptoms, okay, so the symptoms they differ, ne? And they differ in the amount of leucoma that you have, and secondly, how long you have had it. So they don't just start overnight, ne? They don't. They take time. You find yourself starting to experience the symptoms as time goes on. Okay, and you find out, okay, there's something that you need to do for the spirits, for them to be okay, and for the shadow that their passing has put you in to be gone for good. Okay, so the first symptom is you're bloated, not in a normal getting bloated type of way. Like, it is constant, it is never stopping. And with the bloatedness, you find out your tummy is always growing rapidly. Okay, it's always growing in a way that you don't understand. You eat healthy, you do healthy stuff, you exercise, but still your tummy is growing in a way that you don't understand, and it is not stopping. Number 2, you have migraines which get worse by the day. Okay, so this is not a normal headache. It's not a normal headache. It's a migraine. Like, it's very, very severe, and it can last for hours, and you can drink anything, like pills, as long as they're not pills for like migraines, then they won't go away. But given that these ones are spiritually created, what happens is not even a lot of things will actually cure them. You'll find yourself like drinking so many different aspirins and stuff, but none of them actually working, because it's a spiritual matter, né? Your muscles tend to hurt. That is number 3, né? Your muscles tend to hurt. That is where molore, like, you're just so fragile. All of a sudden, you're just so fragile. You don't even understand what's going on. How did you get this fragile? It happened overnight, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. It's also another sign of leucoma. Okay, and number 4, your feet get swollen. That is where, like, your feet get really swollen. Sometimes you're unable to walk properly, sometimes you're unable to get out of bed. It just gets really, really, really intense, and it does that over time. So it can start a little bit like with maybe just your feet not feeling okay one day, then all of a sudden it just starts getting worse and over again. Okay, loss of breath. Okay, you lose your breath a lot. I know what losing breath can be very normal to a certain extent for some people, depending on different kinds of illnesses, or what you eat and all those kind of stuff. But leucoma does also cause loss of breath at some point, ne? Number 6, malwetse having for one. Okay, I'm laughing at the fact that I lost count of my things again. Malwetse having for one, ne? For babies. Like, there's this thing called malwetse having. I don't know what they call it in English. I don't know what they call it in any other language besides Sotho, Spedi, because that is how I got initiated. But having. So what happens is with the baby, oh man, like, it's very, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's a very risky sight to see. Especially when it gets really worse. Like, your heart would break in an instant. Like, the baby's eyes would roll to the back. The baby would not be able to gain a lot of weight. Like, they would stay so skinny and so tiny. They'll like it will look like they're suffering from malnutrition, and that is not even the case. Okay, and like, it's just really, really messed up. Okay, and Maluja Taveng is something that you, like parents, if you're a parent to a newborn baby, be very careful of this. Even when you take your baby would like to draw the term and stuff like that, try to do it more the same person. Even if they get sick after that, like certain type of sickness, make sure that they get help from the same person. Stop taking your children to different sangomas at the same time. It's very risky. A child can be exposed to certain type of diseases, different kinds of diseases. It's not really nice to, it's not nice to see at all, ne? So a newborn baby will experience Maluja Taveng if they are born in Lohoma, if they are born under that shadow. If, let's say, the mother has this shadow on her and the baby is born with her having it on her, then the child will be affected by it. So it's very, very serious when it comes to children, né? Number 6, I said your things are unable to move. Okay, so this is the same as all the other things I've been talking about. Your things are on constant standstill. Nothing is happening for you. You are just stuck in one place, okay? And for mothers, you can struggle to conceive again, and or your child, the birth of your child will be a struggle, okay? And the child can also be born in the darkness as well. Okay, so this just takes us back to where we talked about Maluja Taveng for kids. So for parents, if you're a mother, maybe you had a miscarriage or an abortion, try to get that darkness removed on you, removed from you. For some people, they are like, they could have it but still be able to have children, but for others it can actually block you from actually conceiving again, or you'll conceive but you'll continuously keep having miscarriages, and like that's gotta be the most painful thing ever. But you'll continuously have miscarriages, and even when you don't have a miscarriage, the child, although you're gonna be able to birth, that child is gonna it's gonna be a struggle. It's gonna be one of the most hectic pregnancies ever, okay? And lastly, the child that you birth might actually end up born in that darkness, and hence the child's life will be at risk, okay? So we're at the time, the moment we've been waiting for, how to fix it. Let me sit down properly. Okay, in terms of cleansing, Isicqitho, darkness, lefifi, senyama, ne? Usually, cleansing is the first thing you do, but don't just go to everyone and say, I want a cleansing. Have that person consult you. That is the one thing you can do for yourself. Have that person consult you so they can understand the type of Isicqitho that you have, the type of darkness that you have, what caused it, who caused it, why are they causing it, and how you have to remove it, because not all things are done in the same way, guys. They're done in different ways, and different methods are needed to fix them, okay? So you need to get a cleansing, know the kind you have, and undergo the right processes to remove it, or you'll just go to everybody cleansing here, cleansing there, cleansing everywhere, and not getting the help that you need, okay? And secondly, about the cleansing, I said already, determine how to remove. Okay, no, it's mostly about, well, I said, understand the kind of cleansing you need, the kind of senyama you need, and determine how you're gonna have to remove it, né? Number 2, for the ancestral one, you need to make peace with your ancestors. Plain simple. Yes, a cleansing might be needed. Yes, it will be needed. Let me not say it might be needed. A cleansing is gonna be needed. But Luena, you need to fix your relationship with your ancestors. Because you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna come through, a gogo is gonna remove it, but the ancestors will be like, let's leave this person for a month and see if they'll listen to us. And you don't, and back to square one again. The ancestors can be spiteful, guys. They can be spiteful. You do not want to test them, okay? So fix your relationship with your ancestors. If you have to partner, if you have to have a ceremony, if you have to pray more, Do those things. Do them. It only takes like 5 minutes. 5 minutes is way too long when you partner. Like, you can just partner, like, just say, go, talk to them, just tell them, guiding, protecting, then you're done. It's just that simple. It doesn't take hours, guys. Just appease your ancestors, man. And number 3, for the name, if it's because of the wrong name, find the accurate name. That is where Molor, a healer that you go to, will tell you how to get that right name from your ancestors, because the processes can be different. They can say, yes, you do this, do that. They're different depending on who you go to, but the instruction that you will get will be a plain, clear instruction from your ancestors, ne? And if you are using the right name, but the name itself, it is cursed, then you have to break that curse binding spell that is specifically on the name and you. So that is where Molor, you cleanse yourself and the spirit that had this name and was cursed. So that's where you can also move forward, because the name is the issue, né? And in terms of the other part, the name where I said, like, just naming your kids like negative stuff, parents, stop doing that. Stop doing that, please. Understand that a name has power. A name has a lot of power. My name means she who resembles a goddess. Imagine, my parents literally woke up one day and said, she's gonna be named, or she resembles a goddess. And you know, the power of a name itself is just, it's amazing, because I feel like most of the things that had happened in my life were because of the name that I was given. I was called goddess for the most part of my life, even before I even knew that was the meaning of my real name. And when I found out, I was like, the name is powerful on its own. So please try to name your children names that will uplift them instead of breaking them down as people. Okay, so anyways, that is it about Isicqitho, senyama, lefifi, darkness. I hope this was very educational. I know it was a very long video, but I needed to do this so you guys can be fully educated on it. I hope you guys enjoyed your time with me. Tokozani Lisedi. Bye bye.
Unkunku wakuketangane madlozi yakhuluma nawe. Unkunku wakuketangane madlozi yakhuluma nawe. Idlozi liyabuma unkulu babu. Give me ripple, let me know the It doesn't leave a woman.